The United States plans to deploy more high-tech missile systems to the Philippines.
The night sky over the western Pacific is getting crowded, but not with stars. It's filling up with missiles. In recent years, the area around the Philippines has seen a sharp rise in missile tests and military drills. In 2025, Kim Jong-un personally oversaw a series of hypersonic missile launches, cutting-edge weapons that travel at incredible speeds and can twist and turn mid-flight, making them extremely difficult to stop. Experts warn that some of these missiles could reach targets across large parts of East and Southeast Asia. At the same time, tensions in the South China Sea are heating up. Military exercises by the People's Liberation Army are becoming more frequent, and advanced missile systems are steadily being deployed across the region. For countries sitting along these critical waters, especially the Philippines, this raises a serious and unavoidable question. Is the nation ready for the missile threats of today's world? The Philippines occupies one of the most strategic locations on Earth. Positioned between the Pacific Ocean and mainland Asia, it sits at the crossroads of global trade. Every year, massive oil tankers, cargo ships loaded with electronics, and naval fleets from multiple nations pass through its surrounding seas. But that same geography is a double-edged sword. Being at the center of the Indo-Pacific also places the Philippines dangerously close to potential conflict zones, from the Taiwan Strait to the South China Sea. As tensions between major powers continue to rise, missiles have become a key part of everyday military strategy, not just tools for full-scale war. For decades, the Philippines focused its military on internal threats like insurgencies and local security challenges. Its defense systems were built around patrols and ground operations, not high-tech missile defense. But the world has changed. Fast. Missile technology is spreading rapidly across the Asia-Pacific. Nations like China, North Korea, and even distant powers such as Russia are expanding their arsenals, developing ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and now hypersonic weapons capable of striking targets hundreds or even thousands of miles away with growing precision. For the Philippines, this shift presents a serious vulnerability. Major cities like Manila, Cebu, and Davao all fall within potential strike range. Key infrastructure, ports, air bases, power plants, communication networks could become targets in a conflict. And yet, despite these rising risks, one reality remains. The Philippines still does not have a fully developed system to intercept incoming missiles, which leads to a bigger, more urgent question. In a region where missiles are becoming the new normal, how long can it afford to wait? Unlike nations with layered high-tech air defense systems, the Philippines is still working without a fully integrated national missile shield. Its current capabilities are limited, and its early warning systems, critical for detecting incoming threats, are still developing. For now, the country leans heavily on its long-standing alliance with the United States through the Mutual Defense Treaty. That partnership offers a strong layer of deterrence, but depending too much on outside support leaves important gaps in national security. Building its own missile defense system could change everything. At its core, missile defense is about one thing: protection. Protecting lives, protecting cities, protecting the systems that keep a country running when crisis hits. If a missile can be detected early and intercepted before impact, the damage, both human and economic, can be drastically reduced. Research has shown that effective missile defense systems don't just save lives, they can reshape the battlefield before anything even happens. Because when an adversary knows their missiles might never reach their target, the incentive to strike drops significantly. In simple terms, missile defense makes attacks less likely in the first place. For the Philippines, the benefits go even further. A nation that can defend its own skies gains something just as important as security: independence. It becomes less vulnerable to pressure, more confident in its decisions, and better positioned to stand its ground in regional disputes. That's especially critical in areas like the West Philippine Sea, where tensions over maritime claims continue to surface. While missile defense systems wouldn't change legal boundaries, they would strengthen the country's ability to safeguard its territory, infrastructure, and national interests. So, the question is no longer if the Philippines should invest in missile defense, it's how fast it can build one. And that begins with exploring the technologies that could define the country's first true shield in the sky. There are several paths the Philippines could take, and each one brings a different kind of protection. One option is a system like THAAD, designed to intercept ballistic missiles in the final moments before impact. Another approach could come from the sea, using warships equipped with the Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense system, capable of tracking and destroying threats from offshore. On land, systems like the Patriot missile system could protect high-value targets, military bases, major cities, and critical infrastructure. Each system works differently, but together they create something far more powerful: a layered defense, multiple chances to detect, track, and stop a missile before it hits. The more layers you have, the better your odds of stopping the threat. But building that kind of shield isn't simple. It would mean installing radar systems across the entire archipelago, all connected to command centers that can respond in real time. It would require highly trained personnel, constant coordination, and strong cybersecurity to guard against digital attacks that could disrupt the system itself. And yes, it would come at a high cost. Missile defense systems are some of the most advanced and expensive technologies in modern warfare. But the real question is, what's the cost of doing nothing? One successful missile strike on a major port, airport, or industrial hub could send shockwaves through the entire economy. These aren't just structures. They represent billions of dollars in investment, jobs, and national growth. Damage to even one could disrupt supply chains, slow trade, and shake investor confidence overnight. On the flip side, strong defenses send a powerful message. They tell the world that a country is stable, secure, and serious about protecting its future. And when investors see that, confidence grows. Missile defense isn't just about military strength, it's about economic stability. It also plays a role on the global stage. Unlike offensive weapons, missile defense systems are built to protect, not provoke. Countries like Israel, South Korea, and Japan all emphasize this distinction. Take Israel's Iron Dome, for example. It has intercepted thousands of incoming rockets aimed at civilian areas, saving countless lives and dramatically reducing damage. For the Philippines, the message is clear. A missile shield isn't about escalating conflict. It's about making sure the country can stand strong, stay secure, and keep moving forward, no matter what comes its way. South Korea's deployment of THAAD has strengthened its shield against threats from North Korea, while Japan has poured major resources into Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense to protect its islands and surrounding waters. These examples reveal a critical truth. Missile defense is most effective when it's layered, integrated, and backed by strong alliances. For the Philippines, that opens the door to powerful partnerships. Working closely with allies like the United States, Japan, and South Korea could fast-track the country's defensive capabilities. Technology sharing, joint military exercises, and real-time intelligence, especially early warning data, could dramatically boost both national and regional security. But building a missile shield isn't just a technical challenge. It's a balancing act. Cost is a major factor. Defense spending has to compete with everyday priorities like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Leaders would need to make a clear case to the public why investing in defense today could prevent far greater losses tomorrow. There are also diplomatic tightropes to walk. Some neighboring countries might see missile defense systems as a signal of shifting military alliances. That's why communication matters. Framing these systems as purely defensive and integrating them into broader regional security discussions can help ease tensions and avoid misunderstandings. At its core, this conversation reflects a bigger shift in how nations think about security. There was a time when geography offered protection. For island nations like the Philippines, the ocean acted as a natural shield. But in today's world of long-range missiles and hypersonic weapons, distance no longer guarantees safety. Security now depends on preparation. The Philippines sits at a critical crossroads in the Indo-Pacific, where global trade routes, military alliances, and geopolitical rivalries all intersect. And as the region continues to evolve, the country faces a defining question. How do you protect your people in an era where threats can arrive in minutes? A missile defense system isn't a cure-all. It won't eliminate every risk, but it is a powerful step toward building a stronger, more resilient defense, one designed for the realities of modern warfare. Because in a world where danger can travel thousands of miles in minutes, waiting for a crisis to happen isn't a strategy. Preparation is. And when the next test of stability comes, the difference will be clear between a nation caught off guard and one ready to stand its ground beneath the sky.